we normally think I have to be independent and I have to do whatever I want. Yes, if you are single, okay. But once you get married and when you have kids, if we try to be independent, then that will ruin your family life. Sri Lankan Airlines achieved this award last year, that is Women in IT Asia Awards, and I was fortunate enough to get that award considering the teams I led. Within IT I led 3 teams, and out of that I got this award. Me being the first female engineer at this IT department, it was a challenge at the very beginning. Challenging part was when you are assigned to an area where it was dominated by males, then all are keeping eyes on you. You can't make a single mistake because they want to see. Sometimes some have that tendency, yes. Oh, female is doing this. We as females sometimes, even though we have all the qualifications, we get this psychological situation. We think that we are a little bit below males when it comes to work. We have to be on call as engineers because this is an airline and 24/7 operations. One day a male called and said there's a problem with one of the operational systems. So I was guiding him to do this step 1, step 2, but he was reluctant to do that. I said, do that. He was telling, if you don't do this, the aircraft will be delayed and all this. So I asked him, yes, do this. But then he said, I want to speak to an engineer. So we took it as a challenge as well as we enjoyed it, because with that we gained a lot of knowledge. But when it comes to the time when we got married and when the kids were growing up, it was a really hard time.
This is She Digital. We have a remarkable guest today for Women's International Day, Mrs. Gayanika Gunasekara, Manager Digital Transformation and IT Business Relations, also who brought international recognition to the company by leading her team to win the IT Team of the Year Award 2023. Welcome, Mrs. Gayanika.
Hi.
So, what is the inspiration to join for IT?
Actually, I completed my degree in electronics and telecommunication from Morato University. Then I got this opportunity to join Sri Lankan Airlines as a systems engineer, and this is my first working place, and I'm quite happy. After that I got exposure in different areas, in technically on IT sides as well as on management end, and with all that experience Sri Lankan Airlines achieved this award last year, that is Women in IT Asia Awards, and I was fortunate enough to get that award considering the teams I led. Within IT I led 3 teams, and out of that I got this award for the company as well as for the country.
In your career, have you ever encountered situations where despite you have the same qualifications and experience as a male counterpart, and he got the opportunity simply because you are a woman? So, in such cases, how you navigate such challenges and advocate for the equal opportunities?
Yes, I was fortunate because the management and the colleagues in the environment I worked at Sri Lankan were all mostly technical. But me being the first female engineer at this IT department, it was a challenge at the very beginning. But nearly 95% of my colleagues, they supported me. And even as you asked, when it comes to promotions, we didn't have that sort of a gender bias at Sri Lankan in IT. Always we got the opportunities based on the qualifications and the experience. But the challenging part was when you are assigned to an area where it was dominated by males, then all are keeping eyes on you. You can't make a single mistake because they want to see. Sometimes some have that tendency,
Yes.
oh, female is doing this. So because of that, it's a challenge. And when I was assigned to do the data center management, it was a surprise to most of the engineers because it's the first time
A
female was assigned to this job. So I'm quite happy we got those challenges, and as you ask how I faced those challenges, always I had the confidence on me. Plus looked into the potential that I had, and based on that I could overcome those and work with those males without any problem.
Without any problem, with confidence and all.
Yes.
In the tech industry, there's often an unfounded perception that women might struggle to have more handling with pressure. Why do you think such stereotypes exist, and what do you believe can be done to change and challenge these misconceptions with the industry?
I think the misconception comes with our behavior as well. We as females sometimes, even though we have all the qualifications, we get this psychological situation, we think that we are little bit below males when it comes to work.
Oh, yeah.
So we have to get out of that, because if we go ahead thinking like that, then stress would be our friend. So I managed to get out of that. Plus the other one is we have to always tap our potential. There's a huge potential that each female has, which we sometimes neglect because of we think, oh, what would males think about? Don't worry, tap that potential and perform. Then you can overcome all those challenges.
As a leader, in your role managing diverse teams, both male and female members, have you ever had a concern or experienced situations that you thought your leadership was not fully acknowledged and respected simply because you are a woman? Have you addressed this, and how did you overcome this matter?
When I joined at the very beginning as an engineer, not my leadership, but even my work was challenged. Just to give an example, we have to be on call as engineers because this is an airline and 24/7 operations. One day a male called and said there's a problem with one of the operational systems. So I was guiding him to do this step 1, step 2, but he was reluctant to do that. I said, he was telling, if you don't do this, the aircraft will be delayed and all this. So I asked him, yes, do this. But then he said, I want to speak to an engineer. So that's the mentality those people had 20 years ago. Because in their mindset, an engineer is a male. So it's not that they did purposely, but that's the mindset they had at that time. So I'm quite happy now all that is changed. So as a leader, now I'm able to get the teams to work together, whether it's male or female. So there was a time I had to lead the software engineering team, which was dominated by males. But still, we worked together, and software engineering, digital transformation, and management information system, all those 3 units work together, and based on that we achieved this award.
In the tech field, where the job can be demanding and may require working beyond regular hours, how do you manage to balance with work and personal life? Additionally, how has your family been supportive for your career, especially considering the potential stress in the tech industry?
Yes, so if you select a job in this industry, you have to expect that. After choosing, you can't say, I'm a female, I can't work after 5 p.m. So with that intention only, we have to select this field. From the very first day, we had to work beyond normal office hours. So we took it as a challenge as well as we enjoyed it, because with that we gained a lot of knowledge. But when it comes to the time when we got married and when the kids were growing up, it was a really hard time. Yet with that experience and the interest we had towards this industry, we could manage that. Because even if you go out, you have to take your laptop, and those days you had to take the modem as well, not like right now the hotspot and dongle, nothing. So all that, when you are packing to go out even for a holiday, you have to pack all that stuff as well. So it became lifestyle. Now we know how to manage that stress. Without making it a stress, we could manage it.
You have chosen to keep working after the marriage, which goes against the idea that women should quit their jobs after they get married. What's your perspective in this expectation, and how do you deal with it in your own life?
I don't believe that a woman should resign from her job once get married, because that keeps, if you learnt and if you obtain a degree, then it's your time to serve the country and give back what you have learned. So just because you got children, it's not a good option to get out of your job. Yes, there are hard times in your job, and then in those lapses you have to lie low and then perform, because you may miss a lot of opportunities during that time because you have to spend a lot of your time towards your family. But later on there's a time that through this journey you get a time where you can spend more time towards your job, then you can perform again. I also have lost a lot of opportunities because I have to look after the family and balance the work, yet you can enjoy because you are balancing both your family and your job.
As you have broken barriers, how does it make you feel? Are you proud of what you have achieved as a woman today, and how does your family show their pride in what you have done?
Yes, definitely.
Definitely.
They are proud, and also even my son, daughter and my husband, he's also from the technical side, so he understands, and they are also used to my pattern, so they also like it.
What in your view an independent woman defines, and what do you think that women should be self-reliant is important nowadays?
I firmly believe a woman should be self-reliant, but that doesn't mean you can. We normally think I have to be independent and I have to do whatever I want. Yes, if you are single, okay. But once you get married and when you have kids, if we try to be independent, then that will ruin your family life. You can be independent at your work, but when it comes to your family, you have to definitely depend on your husband, because you have to get you can't be independent because you have to get the love and caring for your kids. If we try to, because in today's context, a lot of girls think I have to be independent and then they go in their way. But then we are doing injustice to our kids.
Considering your own experience, what advice would you give to the young generation to enter the tech industry?
What I would say is simple: be yourself, challenge yourself, because you are unique. And if you talk about the gender, in office environment, forget about the gender. But if you are in your family environment, always remember about your gender, because in office, you are assigned to a job description. So you have to perform your job, either you are a male or a female. But at home, you are assigned a job based on your gender. So there you have to remember your gender. If not, life is going to be miserable. And if you remember that and you maintain that femininity, then only your life will be happy.
Happily. What does Inspire Inclusion mean to you, which is the International Women's Day 2024 theme? And also, is it important for women to celebrate Women's Day?
We should celebrate Women's Day so that we can look back and we can think, rethink what we have done, and then also re-energize ourselves. But we should not make it a commercial thing, because nowadays it is more commercialized than thinking about the true aspects why we are having the International Women's Day. And this year it is inspired by inclusion. Definitely, women should be included based on their competencies, not based on the gender. And we as women should remember, we should get included, or inclusion should be there with the inspiration, but we should maintain our status and dignity.
What do you think about She Digital Media, especially in an industry where men often dominate? How important it is to have a network where the majority are women, and we, She Digital TV, focus on the women voices and topics?
I think you all are doing a great job, because women should have a forum or a network so that they can give the ideas, and also you can highlight and discuss on matters that mainly affect females. So I believe that you all are doing a great job, and also I must thank you all for inviting for this session, because I freely shared my views, and as a person who has 24 plus years experience at Sri Lankan IT, I feel it would be useful for new generation as well.
Thank you, Mrs. Gayanika.
Thank you.